So better go with your mod probe.
So whenever we need, we have to execute that mod probe
Yes,
command.
exactly.
It is that after we have to remove it.
Yes,
As
exactly.
soon as we complete.
As soon as you are done with the job, if you don't want it, you can remove it.
Okay.
That's the beauty of Linux. You can flex your kernel.
Okay.
Alright? Which is not possible in Windows. Got the idea?
Yeah.
So two methods to add your kernel module. First can be compiled into the kernel or loaded as a kernel modules. Okay? Once again the same location where you can find your kernel modules as I told you. Lib, modules, kernel version and the kernel folder where you can find your kernel modules.ko with the extension. Alright? So let's go ahead and see. As I told you, we have seen lsmod. What is the purpose of lsmod?
It is the currently loaded kernel modules.
Correct. Perfect. So you were able to see some options like this. You were able to see the output something like this with probably 4 columns. Right? I'll explain you what are the 4 columns. So whenever you type lsmod, you will have a title. This is nothing. The first column is nothing but the module name. Okay, the kernel module name. Okay. The second column is nothing but the size of your module. Correct module. If I have a JoyDev module, which is used for joysticks, okay. So this module have a size of 14528. Alright. And used by is nothing but how often it is being used. 0 means it's not never been used. Okay. So let's take right now. My USB is there. I'm using I have plugged my USB drive. Okay. So let us do an ls mod. I'm going switching to okay. Let us do an ls mod and part it to less. Alright. So I see this is the output that I get. These are the kernel modules. Okay. This is the size often used by. And this, the last column is nothing but again a kernel module which are dependent on this kernel. Okay, this is also nothing but a kernel module. See the IP tables. X table is dependent on IP tables, and here it is IP tables, which is again this is in respect with. So this is called dependencies. This will be handled by mod probe. Got it? This is called dependency. Okay. So let us take USB storage. USB mapping storage. Here you can see your USB storage, right? Okay, right now actually you are getting a value 0 because right now probably my USB disk is not getting detected. Okay, just try it. Okay, right now you are able to see my USB disk. Yes. Right? Let's go ahead to the terminal. Right? We'll do the same command again. Right? We'll search for USB. And here you can see now change to 1. Right now my USB disk has been detected and it's being used. Got it? If you have 2 USB, it will change to number 2. If you have 2,
I am talking about USB stick means and inserting for the second or third time. Or it will be changing over here or else?
No, I didn't understand.
Whether it will be like a static or dynamic?
No, it will change.
Suppose I am removing out that USB stick and inserting for the second time.
Okay.
Will it be counted?
No, it is not like that. It's not like that. It will be counted still 1. You are actually using one device. If you are inserting the second, if you are using 2 USB stick and inserting in the same computer, then the number will be 2.
Okay.
Got it? This is just not like counting the amount. It's not
Number of series.
No, it's not like that. Okay. So you got the idea of LS mod, the 4 columns, kernel module name, the size, how often it is used, and the other dependent kernels. Right? So next, let's go back to the slide. Alright. So LS mode. Next is something called inst mode. Okay. Inst mode serves the same purpose like what your mod pro command did, right? Insmod serves the same purpose, inserting a module to your kernel, inserting a kernel module to your kernel. So same purpose, insmod, okay, and we have mod pro, right? So this command loads the indicated module into the kernel. The syntax is similar, same as you can see. You can see insmod and the module name, alright? And we have something called, this command you have already seen. Yeah.
What is the difference between insmod and mod pro?
Okay, so both are serving the same purpose.
Yes.
You want to see the difference. See, if I am using a mod pro command, okay, I am using a mod pro command. Let's say use storage. Okay, this is a command. Alright. So whenever I am using this command, there are so many things happening behind. Okay, which is not happening in the insmod command. Okay, let me just show you. I'll go back to this slide. Yeah. Whenever I load a module, okay, whenever I do a mod pro module name, alright. So the things happening are, there is something called etcmodpro.conf. Okay, this file gets read whenever I use mod pro command, but whenever I use insmod, this never gets read. Okay, so if you want to do certain changes with your kernel modules, you can do with the mod pro. You can actually edit this configuration file. Okay, so that is the main advantage. If you are using insmod, probably I would recommend not to use insmod. The best safe way is used to mod pro, because it resolves automatically resolves the dependencies, right? How that happens? Because there is some file, lib module, the kernel version number, and something called module.dep. This file stores all the database about the dependencies. Okay, so what happens whenever I type mod pro? This file gets read, right? etc mod. If there is any configuration, it will change. Okay, and this file gets read. If there is any it will just check this file for any dependencies, and it will resolve automatically. Okay, and plus we have additional configuration file stored here, etc mod pro.d. It will also check that. Okay, this all things won't be happening in your insmod. It won't resolve the dependencies. Okay, so there might be some error if you are loading a module. So better always use your mod pro command. So you have your doubts clear. That's the difference between mod pro and insmod. Alright. So RM mode everyone knows. Yes?
Yes.
Used to remove the module. Again, here we have the same topic. It can only be removed if no process are accessing the hardware. You got this sentence?
Yes.
Got it? So if your hardware is being accessed, if a process is actually accessing your hardware, at that time you can't remove your kernel module, because it's running, the module is being currently used. You can't remove it. The best safe way is to end the process or remove the hardware, then remove your kernel module. You got it? So next, as we saw mod pro, you got the difference, right? So what are things being read? etc mod, the configuration file, the dependency file, and other configuration files. Alright. So we saw some file called dependency file, right? Under lib module, the kernel, and the module.dep, right? Let me just show you. Inside my computer, ls lib module, probably a kernel version. Alright. So do you see the module.dep dependency? Yeah. Seconds. Yeah. Right? Okay. So this file stores, if you want, you will cat it. Cat module. Again, it's a long text file which stores all the dependencies, kernel dependencies will be stored in this file. Alright? So how this file gets created? Okay, we have a command called dep mod. dependency mod, def mod. This command will create the dependency file. It will check the entire kernel model database and it will automatically create the corresponding dependencies for each kernel model. Right? Def mod. And yeah. So when a model is loaded, mod.def ensures that, again the same point, whenever you are using mod probe command, this file gets checked, and this is the main file for the reason for automatically resolving the dependencies. Okay? And we also have some command called, not a command, again a file called alias.